The head of the Kremlin, Vladimir Putin, will continue to carry out terrorist strikes on Ukraine, so already in June 2025, the daily number of Shahed drones attacking our territory could increase to 600. In response, Kyiv will strike enemy terrorist targets. The former head of the Foreign Intelligence Service of Ukraine, General of the Army Mykola Malamuz, spoke about this. He explained why it is important to convey Ukraine's position to the world. The military expert recalled that the Russians have already used more than 350 drones on May the 25th and 26th, and a record 479 attack drones and decoys on June the 9th to strike Ukraine. I assume that in the coming weeks there could be up to 600 drones of different types. Of course, there could be dozens of missiles of different types. They will be launched from aircraft with 40% because most of these strategic aircraft are not operational. Some of them are destroyed, damaged, and some cannot fly, says the Army General. According to him, Kyiv must inform the world community about Russian acts of terrorism and remind them of the legality of Ukrainian retaliatory strikes against terrorist targets. Strikes against civilians are classified as terrorism under the laws of Britain, Europe, China, India, Brazil, Turkey, Ukraine, and Russia itself. Therefore, we prevent terror and the killing of people by conducting operations against these very objects of terror: aircraft, Iskander missile launchers, and Shahed drones, the production systems of these means of killing, and electronics for Shaheds, summed up Nikolai Malamuz. Recently, Kremlin forces fired almost 500 drones at Ukraine and more than a dozen missiles in a major attack, targeting cities across the country, according to Ukrainian authorities. Ukraine said its air defenses had shot down hundreds of drones and many missiles and claimed that injuries were minimal. Russia is escalating the war and has no intention of stopping it, said Andriy Yermak, top advisor to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Any escalation can only be stopped by force. Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine began in February 2022 and has shown no signs of abating, even amid a staggering death toll, glacially slow advances in the country's east, and efforts by US President Donald Trump's team to bring an end to the conflict. Despite 2 rounds of talks between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators in Turkey in recent weeks, Putin's military has only ramped up its aerial bombardment, regularly firing record-setting numbers of drones at Ukraine.
The city of Kotovsk in Russia's Tambov region has been hit by a drone attack. Local Telegram channels reported this. Ukrainian suicide drone struck a gunpowder factory. The result was an explosion and a fire. Local residents say at least 15 explosions were heard in the area. There were no casualties. Russian state media TASS claimed that a large-scale drone attack on the region was repelled by Russian air defense systems, which resulted in a fire. The outlet did not mention an attack on the plant. Regional Governor Maxim Igorov said that the fire that broke out was extinguished by emergency services, without specifying the location of the blaze. Igorov claimed that there were no casualties as a result of the attack. This is the second drone attack on the plant this year. The first attack took place in January. The plant produces products for small arms, artillery systems, grenade launchers, and other weapons. Tambov region is located about 770 kilometers from the border with Ukraine.
Ебать! Это ж там нахуй небо все красное было. Сука.
Сейчас бабахнут. Ну куда ты побежишь?
Завод, блядь, горит.
Нет, не завод. Может, завод.
Завод. Ебать, ты глянь, что там.
Нам пиздец.
Что одеться?
Склад боеприпасов горит. Боеприпасы взрываются. Видите, они вот просто вспышками. Это пиздец.
Ебать! Это ж там нахуй небо все красное было.
Сейчас бабахнут. Ну куда ты побежишь?
The Ukrainian Defense Forces hit the House of Culture in Rylsk with a HIMARS multiple rocket launcher during a meeting of the command of the 155th Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces there. This was reported by the Russian Z Source, Northern Channel, associated with the Russian Army. This time, the arrival could not be ignored. Too many officers with high epaulets were in one place, and it would be too difficult to hide their deaths. This was not the first time that meetings were held in this cultural and leisure center, always with an above-average level of organization. The commanders came to them with pleasure. Was this a secret for anyone? The number of cool cars near the community center indicated that it was not a congress of collective farmers of the Rylsk region, the channel wrote. He noted that Russian officers gave a big screw to observing the rules of camouflage. The occupiers paid for this. Z Channel does not disclose the number of liquidated occupiers. However, judging by the rhetoric, the number of 200s is impressive. It is possible that someone leaked the location of the meeting. On June 5, Ukrainian forces also attacked Rylsk with HIMARS shells. According to the Telegram channel MASH, the armed forces of Ukraine hit a Frunze Lane and on Rosa Luxemburg Street with at least 2 shells. On the morning of June 9, the Russian Defense Ministry reported that air defense assets destroyed and intercepted 49 aircraft-type drones during the night. According to the agency, most drones were shot down in the Kursk and Nizhny Novgorod regions, 13. 2 drones were destroyed in Chuvashia. Earlier, the investigative committee opened a case after a Ukrainian armed forces drone struck a house in the Kursk region.